6ix9ine spotted under witness protection with a new identity.
Sentencing a motion for a sentence below any mandatory minimum, the plea deal reads. 6ix9ine is also eligible for witness protection.
Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. 6ix9ine is currently doing time for various crimes, but he may not be in prison for too much longer, as a plea deal he made makes it so that he possibly can get out much earlier, though it may not be what he's expecting, as he could end up in witness protection. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to King Trending. Number 5. How 6ix9ine became a snitch.
Bring the officer's attention all crimes which he has committed, and that he shall commit no further crimes.
It's 100% true that 6ix9ine is now an official snitch, but what's just as important is the series of events that led to him being that. 6ix9ine himself was arrested in November of 2018 for a variety of charges, including racketeering, conspiracy, possession of illegal firearms, and substances. But he wasn't alone in those arrests, because not only did the federal authorities, in this case the FBI, go after 6ix9ine, they went after anyone associated with him in these crimes, which in this particular case meant his former crew. Maybe asking, what do you mean by that? You see, a week or so before the arrest happened, 6ix9ine fired not only his manager, but all of his crew that he had around him, around 10 guys in total. He said that he didn't trust them and that they were doing him wrong by financial issues and booking him in various concerts and such.
Austin, Texas, I fired everybody in my team. I got no manager, I got no booking agent, no PR, no public. I don't got nobody on my team.
Now, whether that was his attempt to throw off suspicion as to what really was going on, and there was a lot as those charges can attest to, or that's what he really felt. However, it's really unclear. But what is clear is that not long after, they all got busted, they all went to jail, and they were facing serious jail time. At first, 6ix9ine merely aimed to try and get himself out of jail for the crimes, and when that didn't work, he worked with his lawyers to try and get himself into safer quarters within the prison, which he was successful in, as he got moved to the non-violent offenders ward. But while he was safe in certain regards, he was very unsafe in others, not the least of which was that he was still in prison. So he needed a way out, and the only way out was number 4, plea deal.
As long as he does not get into any further criminal activity, all 9 counts are out the window.
6ix9ine was the first to cave in this particular case, and because of that, he got the best plea deal of the lot by the FBI. The plea deal went as follows. First, he would plead guilty to all counts against him, 9 in this particular case. In return, he would then agree to work with the FBI in order to help bring down not only his former crew, but the group he was associated with, the Trey Nines. According to sources, he had information on much of their dealings, and through this, the FBI slowly but surely picked apart the group. The more they take down, the lighter his sentence, and the more he proves that he was worthy of that plea deal. And as you can bet, he was all too happy to get some of his former crew to plead guilty, especially the manager and some of his fellow cohorts, as they were plotting to have him taken out. Their guilty verdicts made him even look better, and he gets a bit of revenge in the matter as well. The math as for this plea deal is actually very easy to decipher. The more criminals behind bars, the less and less guilty 6ix9ine becomes. Potentially, he could give the FBI so much that they honestly have no reason to hold him anymore. Now, I don't mean outright release him in the next week or so. By anymore, I mean that he's in jail right for his crimes, which is honestly where he should be. But if he plays his cards right, and it seems like he is, there's a very likely chance that now he can actually walk out of prison by the time served in cooperation with authorities. And so far at the time of this posting, 6ix9ine has most definitely lived up to that end of the deal. He has provided enough information for the FBI that they're now slowly closing all the other members of 6ix9ine's crew. 5 more have pleaded guilty since he started the snitch, which proves that his intel is very good. And the FBI is making moves against his other group as well, via what he's told them about how they work. It's all going very well for him. Perhaps too well though, because 6ix9ine no doubt knows the more people that go behind bars via his testimony, the more guilty he becomes in the eyes of his peers and his former group, which is why in the plea deal he got an option to go into witness protection. But what exactly does that entitle? Number 3. Witness protection. If you're curious, here's the technical definition of witness protection as provided by Wikipedia. Witness protection is protection of a threatened witness involved in the justice system, including defendants and other clients, before, during, and after a trial, usually by police. While a witness may only require protection until the conclusion of a trial, some witnesses are provided with a new identity and may live out the rest of their lives under government protection. Witness protection is usually required in trials against organized crime, where law enforcement sees a risk for witnesses to be intimidated by colleagues of defendants. It is also used at war crime trials. So as you can see, 6ix9ine most definitely fits into this category, as he's going after the group that can definitely be defined as organized crime. Now, as you read, there are varying levels of witness protection, so it's very possible that 6ix9ine won't need the extreme makeover, though it still is possible. So how does the government choose which person gets put into witness protection and which ones are not to? Well, here's a breakdown. Before witness protection funds can be sought, law enforcement must conduct an assessment of the threat or potential for danger. This assessment includes an analysis of the extent that the person or persons making the threats appear to have the resources, intent, and motivation to carry out the threats, and how credible and serious the threats appear to be. When threats are deemed credible and witnesses request law enforcement assistance, witness protection funds can be used to provide assistance to witnesses, which helps law enforcement keep witnesses safe and help ensure witnesses appear in court and provide testimony. So what this really breaks down to is how much protection would 6ix9ine need after everything is said and done and he's freed. It honestly depends on how many members of 6ix9ine's group, not counting the ones already in prison, that they can take down. And the FBI really does want these guys off the street, but it's not that easy of a task, not in one bit. 6ix9ine is providing them serious information to help get some of them, but whether it'll be enough, who can say? This actually is the reason that witness protection was offered in the deal in the first place, because the FBI knew if they didn't get some of the higher ups in this group, they might go after 6ix9ine once he's released from jail. And that could put a big damper on how many of the cases they would have going at the time. So keeping him safe is paramount. But what exactly does this mean for 6ix9ine in general? What would he have to go through in witness protection to keep safe? Number 2, a total transformation.
Witness protection. The guy who has his name tattooed on his face.
Here's a reason why witness protection is the nuclear option for those who are in danger, because it's not something you can easily come back from. When you go into the witness protection program, you're given a completely new identity, one backed up by the government to stand up to any and all scrutiny. I'm talking brand new official licenses, social security numbers, job histories, and all the bells and whistles you'd need in order to blend in wherever you are in the country. For 6ix9ine, that would be the easy part. As for he wouldn't have to do much except think up of a new name that isn't related to him in the least. However, if you know the look of 6ix9ine, you're going to understand he most definitely stands out, and that's a major problem. He would have to go through a physical transformation as well, or else he wouldn't be able to blend in at all, especially with all the face tattoos and the brightly colored hair. For a guy like 6ix9ine, this will be the biggest loss for him, because he's a man who truly loves his looks. It's what helped define him during his career, but now if he goes into witness protection, he has to look like a regular guy who, for the first time in a long time, and that's going to hurt. But it's not the only thing that'll hurt, because I'm sure that you probably have guessed, he's going to have to stay out of the spotlight in terms of his music. While it's possible that many people may catch on in regards to who 6ix9ine is if they hear him outside and talk a lot and know his music, it's his music that won't be sung by him anymore outside of his house. Because if people recognize who he is, it'll get blasted all over the internet and that'll leave him compromised and he'll be left open to attack. So if he does this and if he goes into witness protection, he'll have to lay low in every way imaginable. He'll have to blend in, not be Tekashi, not be 6ix9ine, just be whoever the FBI and the Marshal Service need him to be in order to survive. Whether he actually does that though, that's really the big question. Number 1, life outside of witness protection. Okay, let's look at the positive side of things for a bit though. Let's say, for argument's sake, that he doesn't have to go into witness protection, that he's able to go out of jail and just go back to his regular life. Would that actually work? No, not likely, and here's why. In the rap world, there are 3 kinds of rappers that you usually can feel out by the way they act and the songs they sing. Then there are those who are solely there for music and expression. There are those who came up from a rough life and went into music to try and escape it. And then there are those who use music to try and gain fame and gain an image that'll carry them far. For 6ix9ine, he's definitely in that 3rd category. Sure, he's had somewhat of a hard upbringing, but for most of it, it was on him, as is the rest of the crap he's done throughout his life. So when he started to realize that he wanted to get into the rap music, he started to do a lot of dumb things in order to build up his cred on the streets, which led him to several arrests and certain other plea deals. But that's a topic for another time. But one thing that 6ix9ine liked to do more than anything else was blast about how tough he was and his image and how he was a straight up gangsta and stuff like that. He even proclaimed himself to be the king of New York, which I hope you can guess how other rappers who are from New York reacted to such a claim. It wasn't good for 6ix9ine, but he wouldn't drop the moniker. As if that wasn't enough, he started to alter his body in terms of hair color, tattoos, jewelry, and more, all to fit the image of how tough he was. And this was all applied to his music and music videos, where he would act out being tough in situations or using firearms to solve his problems and all of that. So over the course of many years, 6ix9ine has built up his image about who he was, how he acted, how tough it made him. But then he got arrested by the FBI, and then he got a plea deal, and now he's snitching on everyone that matters, which means everything that he said and did try to prove his toughness was just a lie. Now, yeah, you may look at this objectively and go, there's nothing wrong with that. He's just trying to get a better deal, and less in jail time is more preferable than a possible life sentence. Life in prison is no joke, especially for a singer like 6ix9ine who wants to be out in the world making music. However, prison time in the rap culture is viewed in a different way than other parts of the culture, because if you claim to be tough and you get time, you're supposed to take it. You take it on on the chin and you keep going. 6ix9ine barely lasted 2 months in prison before taking the plea deal. By accepting the plea deal, regardless of how much time he got knocked off the punishment, 6ix9ine has proven that he's not about the life that he claimed he was. Ironically enough though, many people in the rap world actually question 6ix9ine's toughness nearly from the get-go. He might have acted hood and dressed and talked like it, but many thought that this was just a front, and this proves that. So if he's able to get back into the streets without looking over his shoulder, he won't get the respect that he likely thinks he deserves. Instead, he'll get a cold shoulder, some stares, and a lot of hate from his fellow rappers. Because he broke a rule, he snitched, and now he has to live with that. So there you have it, the breakdown on 6ix9ine's situation in regards to both the plea deal and what it would be like for him in witness protection. So do you think that 6ix9ine will actually end up there, or do you think he'll be able to stake it out? And if he does enter witness protection, will we ever hear from him again? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on King Trending. A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.